This is the CrownTalk Podcast with Crown Riri. Hi out there to my Crown Ones. This is Rebecca, aka Crown Riri. Thank you so much for pressing play. If you are enjoying CrownTalk Podcast, please leave a comment and let me know. And also share with other Crown Ones. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, please. There is no machine behind me, so any support is welcome. Thank you again for pressing play, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Crown Talk. Don't forget your crown, and don't forget your crown. Hi out there to all my Crown Ones. This is Rebecca, aka Crown Riri, and this is a Crown Talk episode. And I have the wonderful Miss Tanya J. Miller. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Ms. Riri?
Doing pretty good. Today is Daylight Savings Day, so I'm super excited to have one more hour to create something.
Yeah. I think you're probably the only person that has ever said they're excited about Spur Your Forward. So
Yeah, it's probably just me because I don't like coming home when it's dark out, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And also, I know I'm here in Florida, and I believe normally around this time our weather's unpredictable, but it's gonna get warmer because it's kind of chilly a couple of days.
Yeah. Chilly in Florida, y'all it be 60. So I know.
Yeah. And if you don't mind, what state are you located in?
I'm in Texas, DFW, the Metroplex, the best state in America. Not just playing. I'm in Texas though.
Oh, one of my sister and my mom actually gonna be there next week, so I will let them know that where they need to be.
Yes. I actually used to live on the East Coast, and so moving back from Virginia, I was like, yes. I mean, I like the nature and all of that, but being back in Texas, it felt right. So
I am sure. As people must know, they say the craziest people are in Florida. So not me, but that's what they say. So. So just to introduce you, you are a certified life coach with over 18 years experience working with youth, young adults, and women throughout the community and ministry to pursue purpose, passion, destiny. You hold a BBA in finance, business management from Northwood University and an MBA from Regent University. Is that correct?
yes, that is correct.
Wonderful. And what inspired you to be a life coach?
Honestly, it's kind of like one of those things where you end up realizing you've been doing it the whole time. So you just wanted to go on and get some of that formal education and training behind it. So that's where you see the 18 years experience of working with youth, young adults, and women comes from. I've been doing what I do for a long time. And I just realized, hey, let me take it to the next level and be able to, make it a business as well and go from there. So that's basically what it was. I'd already been doing it and wanted to be able to monetize it.
Understandable. Yeah, I'm learning the word monetization is very, very important when you're wanting to do something with a passion, but you also want to benefit from it from yourself.
Yes.
Yes. So were you already in the realm of doing life coaching before going to school for it, or was it like going to school and then doing it?
I had already been doing like some form of ministry counseling, some form of like just even mentoring and coaching on the side with just teens or young adults or even different people on the job, some form of, hey, can I pick your brain, or can, you help me to do this or that, or can I just spend some time with you? And just kind of over the years realizing this is really part of my purpose and my passion, but I wanted to be able to, like you said, not just have it be a passion, but have it be something that I can leverage and be a wealth and legacy builder for my family. So that was the part of me, like I said, going to actually go to school to get trained for it, go and get credentialed and different things like that. So that was the add-in. it wasn't that I hadn't already been doing it, but sometimes, some people need to see some letters behind your name. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And so, or as just that formal education, if you will. So it was just kind of to solidify things and to take it to the next step and level to, let others know I was serious about it too.
Right. And I like that you gave us examples because sometimes I think when it comes to the notion of a life coach, people think that the life coach life is supposed to be perfect. But I don't really think that is the situation. Is that true?
No, I mean, that's just like saying your therapist don't never need therapy. Your
Right.
doctor don't never need to go to the doctor. They don't never get sick. That's very, and I guess I probably even can resonate even well growing up as a pastor's kid. That's like saying your pastor don't ever have no problems and he don't ever sin or he don't ever have nothing that he go through. Like
Right.
ultimately, we all are human. We all have life. It was crazy. I was listening to Stephen Furtick's podcast and he was doing an interview with Bishop Jakes, and Bishop was sharing basically kind of this same answer that I'm giving. He was like, it's because of my life, it's because of
Mm-hmm.
the things that have happened, and because I've been where you are, that I'm able to be able to help you, guide you, mentor you, coach you, if you will, so that you don't have to make the same mistakes, or even if you do, I can let you know from both my own experience and the humility of it that I
Mm-hmm.
understand where you are and I can relate, but also from my knowledge and my training and my education, how to help you to get out of it as well.
I like that because yeah, I'm taking in a moment. Because that makes sense because I do Crown Talk and I have a Crown Talk minimum where I, I have it categorized as self care, but it's only because like there's like nowhere for me to put it. But I always tell people like I don't want to like try to change somebody's life. I just want to inspire. And like you said, what's separate from me and you is that you have the education and knowledge behind it. So I definitely understand it a little bit better when it comes to life coaching. So thank you for that answer.
No problem, no problem.
Because some people wake up and be like, "Okay, I'm going to change your life," and it's like I don't even know you.
I mean, and you even said change your life. I'm kind of in the same vein. What I do is I'm trying to just help you. That's
Right.
like my tagline. Like I want to help you figure it out. I want to help you figure out how to put the puzzle pieces together. I want to help you to do it. I can't necessarily do it for you, but I can at least try and show you the way. I can at least give you some tools. I can at least give you some practical steps, some things that you can make as actionable and achievable goals. So,
Right. I
but
like
I can't change it for you.
that.
I'm not a
Right.
magician.
Right. Yeah. Because sometimes when you're on social media and stuff, we scroll through things and people be like, "I can change this and I can do this for your life," and I'm like, it really depends on what the person wants to do with their own life. Sometimes people just don't want to change, and it's like you can't promise them change if they're not going to change. So yeah. Um. Now, can you give us? No, I'm sorry. When I was on your website, I love one of your quotes. You said, "Where we do life and leadership unapologetically on purpose." What does
Yeah,
that mean to you?
it's loaded.
Well, I
It's a
am
loaded
here.
statement. I tell people that they be like, I feel like it's like you said a whole lot of like, cause I am.
Hmm.
First of all, it's just literally saying that's in itself like what I deal with, what we do. We deal with life because life is encompassing of what we have to do every day. And then in that, we also deal with leadership, whether it's you being the leader of yourself, you being a leader in an organization, you being over, something. But at the end of the day, I still want to help you to figure out how to do it unapologetically, because so many times we feel like, and you kind of even brought it up a little bit, we feel like we need to mirror people. We feel like we need to do what social media is doing. We need to do what culture is doing. We need to, you know, we we need to do it this way because doing it our way isn't right, or it's not good enough, or it's not worthy, or it's something wrong with it, or all those different things. And so one of the reinforcing elements that I try and let you know is you have to be unapologetically you. And, it definitely coincides with the four pillars of my brand, which are purpose, passion, vision, and destiny,
Hmm.
because the only way for you to even start working on those pillars is for you to know that you are good, you're okay, there's nothing wrong, and you better be unapologetically you. And so that's where it's coming from. Like, the only way for you to lead this life that you're trying to lead and live is for you to know that you have to do it unapologetically as yourself. You can't do it for mama. You can't do it for daddy. You can't do it for the gram. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You have to do it for you. And so that's where it comes from. And because I see it so much. Like, I see it, I hear it, I get people reach out. Like, for some reason, today it's a problem with being ourselves, and I need you to know there's nothing wrong with it at all.
I feel like you're speaking to me, but I love that because it did take me a while to get into podcasting and then get into Crown Talk, where it was just a thing where I just wanted to unite people because, you know, on social media, it's like 10,000 people will follow you if you're being negative, but it's like only like 200 people will follow you if you're being positive. And it's like that balance of, you know, like you're saying, unapologetically, I am a positive person. And that's what I have to lead. You know, I'm sure my crown was out there, you know, it's trying to find yourself within like a sea of 10,000 people, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and you said a whole word even then. A lot of times, and I'm giving a plug for anybody that's trying to do something positive, a business owner, entrepreneur, a nonprofit. You can get discouraged by feeling like that your message isn't out there because you see other people that got 10 and 20 and 30 and a million, and theirs does not seem positive. But just know that there's at least, as long as you know that there is one somebody that you helping, your labor is not in vain. There is a reason and there's a purpose for you doing what you're doing. So stay encouraged. I just had to get that plug there. Sorry.
Thank you. No, it's fine. Like I said, you're talking to me and also to my crown was out there because, like I said, I know that, you know, we wake up in the morning and we have the mindset that this is who we are, this is what we're going to do today. And unfortunately, sometimes we pull out our phones and it's like our whole entire navigation of what we are and what we do is like, you know, we were going to the right and now we're going to the left because of one post that we might see or one thing that we might see. And you're just like, oh man, why can't I do that? It's like, that's that for you to do. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, because even now I'm working on I do like I've been trying to like plug this in everywhere. I think it's important, but I've been doing like Dare Kings on Tuesday on my Instagram where I'm talking to our Black men out there because I really feel like we don't directly like encourage them. And
Okay.
at first that was like uncomfortable for me because it was just like I'm just gonna put myself out there and do this. But now it's like something where I have just like hugged, I guess, to say this is what this is a part of Crown Talk and this is a part of what it is to say, you know, dear kings, you're wonderful, you're great. We appreciate you because there's a king out there that I'm sure that everybody would appreciate or however. So yes, thank you.
Do it afraid, ma'am. Do it afraid. The more you feeling it and you getting that, you know that what you do can add and, like you said, help one somebody. Keep doing it afraid. Keep being bold. Keep being unapologetic.
Yeah, I got like one guy was like, I appreciate this today, and I was like, okay, I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thank you for that. That was a my crowd moment. Thank you. So can you speak about the pillars of what does that mean for you? Because I know you have passion, purpose, vision, and destiny. So can we start off with the purpose?
Absolutely, and I'm glad you said purpose because, yeah. So you said purpose first because I had it first, but that's only because it sounds better. But it actually starts with passion because the passion is the thing that it's there, but you don't know what to do with it. You don't know where it's coming from, but some kind of way it starts aligning when you start centering, when you start really realizing, I don't have this passion to do this just for a reason. There's something more to it. And that's when you begin to realize the purpose that's behind the passion. And so kind of like what you were just saying, you started the crown, you started the crown talking, you started with the ladies, but you realized that you had a passion to do that, to inspire, but you don't want to leave the men hanging because you want to inspire and encourage them to remind them that they're kings too. So that one passion to help and to inspire help to basically take your purpose further And now you begin to basically articulate and to plan out a vision for all, because you just want to inspire people. It started with you inspiring women. Now you're adding men, kings, and you never know when you start really beginning to let your passion and purpose flow, where this vision will take you. And that is the vision. When you start letting it take you places, that's when you start seeing the full picture and the full circle of the destiny that was behind it all. And so kind of the way I explained it, that's kind of how I see it. It's a stair step, but it's also a circle, like a wheel, because the more you begin to uncover what's inside of you and that passion and stuff that ignites you, the more you're able to pull back the layers of your purpose. And as you pull back the layers, you're able to begin to clearly define a vision. And as you define that vision, you begin to see more and more big picture of the destiny that was behind it all. And so that's how I look at it as far as my brand. That's what we do. That's what I do when I help you as a life coach. That's what I do when I write books. That's what I do when I go out and speak. That's what I do when I go and work with organizations and do leadership development or leadership strategy sessions. That's what I do. At the end of the day, those 4 pillars stand as the foundation of what I do in my business and what I offer to individuals and organizations to help them to do life and leadership unapologetically on purpose.
I love that so much. Thank you. I am just like, oh. But yeah, because like you said, like I know that people out there that when they have a passion, like you said, it's excuse me, it sucks when you have a passion but you don't know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And like it aggravates, like to me, like sometimes I have like a creative like thought, and it's like, what do I do with it? And like you said, when people are able to reach out to you, it kind of eases their anxiety of just thinking like, hey, because a passion can like hunt you until like you figure out what to do with it, and that can aggravate you.
Yeah.
Coming from experience, believe me, because I am not talking to people on a podcast. Like I'm not doing it. But it was like, it's always like, you have a message, you have something to say. And I know, like you said, when people can reach out to you and say, this is my passion, now what do I do with it? You're able to say, okay, well, let's take that passion and make it into a purpose, and take it from there and make it into a vision. And here it goes. It's like you are helping them make that sandwich of, here you go. This is good. Like, this is for you to do. So I love that. Yeah. Okay. I'm like blown away over here. I love it. So, and thank you for sharing all this with my crown ones. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I'm a big person in support and sharing knowledge. And, I believe that once we are united as far as kings and queens of our culture, we do great things together. So
Absolutely.
thank you.
I've been saying constantly, and everybody's like, Tanya, like, you really mean this? I'm like, yeah, like I've been saying over and over again, we win when we win.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point in us trying to compete when we can support each other, we can collaborate, we can share. There is enough.
Yeah.
A lot of people get discouraged thinking, well, there's already 100 podcasts, there's already 1,000 authors, there's already 1,000 coaches. But you know what? Who's for you is for you, and that person that's for you is waiting on you to stand up and walk in your power, your authority, and your purpose. So don't be bothered by there being another one down the road. The people that are assigned to you, they need what you got, because you got what they need.
Right, very true. Yeah, I was watching, I think it's called May I Have Your Attention Please on Hulu. And one of the guys was a coder, but he was like around like 14 when he was like reading like coding books. And he was just happened to be in the library. And the guy from Google like came up to him and was like, do you know what you're doing? And he was like, yeah. And so from there, he started like have like an internship at Google. And then like another moment, he was just like at Starbucks doing like his coding thing. And like Nipsey Hussle walked in and was like, it's before he passed, of course. He was like, do you know what you're doing? And he was like, yeah. And it's like, if you're doing what you love at the right time, at the right place, there's no telling what can happen from there. So yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. But that starts with, like you said, your passion and making sure that you're touching up there because I stayed up many nights like, Lord, I don't think this is for me. And he was like, oh, yes, it is. Yeah. And
And
for
I
that reason, you
guarantee
can't
you, them
sleep.
times when you be wondering and pondering that somebody will message you, you'll get a comment on a podcast, you'll get a post, and you'll be like, now see, I thought I was about to stop, but they'll remind you, no, I need you for what you bring. I need you for who you are, and I need you because nobody else is doing it like you're doing it.
Yeah. Which is very, yeah. One of my uncles I haven't seen in years walked up to me at a homegoing service and he was like, keep doing what you're doing. And I was like, do what? He was like, I watch your YouTube videos. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah. And I was like, wow, I never would have thought that you would have been watching my YouTube videos. So, yeah,
Yep,
like you said, you never know who's watching you. And that one
yep.
person can motivate you to keep going. Yeah, I agree. Now, I read on here that you are also an author. Can you share with us what inspired you to, number one, because I've tried to write a couple of times. I am not focused whatsoever. So, what made you sit down and focus and wanting to put what you're learning into words, per se?
Well, so I actually have always enjoyed writing.
Mm-hmm.
So my blog Talk with Tanya, I've had it for 15 years. So I've always written. And even in school, like I got like awards for writing creative, submitting stuff creatively, or
Mm-hmm.
I wrote, of course they were from the age mindset I was in, but I wrote, books in elementary school, and me and my friend, we were writing a book together in sixth grade that we were gonna publish. Like for
Aw.
real, we was gonna publish it.
Yes.
It's a long story about what happened, but nevertheless, we both are published authors today. So obviously it was in us from way back then. So it's been who I am for a long time, a writer. But the book that was my first project, I actually wrote the project, and it was not a project. It was not even a book. It was just me writing like I normally write.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it 5 years before it was even published.
Oh,
And I
wow.
wrote it during a time period where I was just really going through a lot. I was going through a lot emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, and the project is called Mind Matters, and it's because I literally felt like my mind did not matter. I didn't matter. I was done, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, it's a wrap. And so I was literally stuck in my own head, and I was not able to get out and just be back a part of life. And so going through the process of healing, therapy, counseling, and just other work that I did, one of the things I started as part of that journey was writing again. And so, because I still had the blog, but I was not writing consistently.
Right.
But I started back writing, and I started literally, I said to myself, and I was like, I don't even know why or how I thought about it like this, but
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm just gonna write this down because I don't want anybody to ever feel like how I feel. And so I want them to know what to do. And so maybe I thought it was just gonna be a blog or something. I'm not sure. And then I said to myself, and then I also want to write it so that people that are around people that are going through, major depression, anxiety, any of that, those mental health concerns and issues, that they know what to say to a person, because sometimes folks say some of the craziest stuff, like snap
Yes.
out of it. It ain't that serious. You just making it, and no, that's really not what you want to tell somebody when they going through on a whole level like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just literally started writing it down. In some kind of way, it survived my old Sprint phone and through moving back to Texas, and I don't even know how I was able to save it because I don't even think it was Google, but Gmail back then and Google Drive. So I don't know how I was able to save it,
Mm-hmm.
but I just knew that it was time to pull it out. Like I just felt like God was like, "You remember that thing that you wrote and you said you was writing it to help people? I need you to pull that out." And so that's
Wow.
basically what it was. Finished because like I said, I didn't write it as a book, so I
Mhm.
cleaned it up and kind of put it together. I actually got my doctor and therapist at the time to write the foreword because I told her, I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
child, it wouldn't be no book if it wasn't for you helping me.
Right. Yeah.
So she did the foreword for me, and of course, went through the editing and all of that, and that's kind of where the author side of me came to be. I'd been a writer the whole time, but the author side of me came out, and just kind of from then on, made the decision to fully establish Tanya J. Miller, the brand and the business.
I love it. And I love that the book is about how to approach people, because there was a time that, and I from what you're saying, it sounds like the same thing. I always state like the thing that I went through in life was when everything consistent became inconsistent, and I was
Hmm.
just like, this does not, I can't control anything. And
Yep.
that's when I went to go see a counselor as well. And I was just like, I don't know how I'm supposed to be feeling about this situation, but I asked God to make me numb, and that's not working. And it was like, it
She was
did.
like, I asked you to say it. That's not working either. I
Yeah.
need some help. Yeah, but I feel you. I
Yeah,
feel
like I
you.
was driving in the car and I was like, Lord, I just want to be numb from all the emotions. And next thing you know, I just ended up crying. I was like, that's not what I meant.
Mhm.
But yeah, but you said one thing that's very important, and I think, and I hope my crowd was out there are just thinking about that. It is like a certain way that people should approach people when they are dealing with mental health
Yes.
issues, because like you said, people be like, well, I'm not feeling it today, I'm depressed, and they be like, oh well, maybe tomorrow you feel better, and it's like, but I'm dealing with these issues today.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
for sure. Like I just because that was another thing. Like, and I'm not saying the people that were there in my life,
Mhm.
they did, they intentionally did anything that that's wrong. But it's just sometimes even just to even know the clues, if you will, to
Yeah.
kind of okay, like it's more than what this person is saying. Like, what can I do to help? How can I be there? Because sometimes they may not say anything, but there's something wrong. So how can you be there but not be there? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I talk about a lot of that as well in the book too.
I like that, because yeah, a lot of times when we ask people how you like, how are you, and it's like you may not get a response from that person, and some people are used to that. It's like, hey, how you doing? It's like, but it's like, no, like, how are you today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I make sure to ask my friends that, because not saying I'm the strong friend, but like, a lot of times people come to me, but then I have to figure out my balance, because believe it or not, I'm very like introverted.
Hmm.
So, and I like being at home, and I like, being in my space. And sometimes when I feel like I'm too comfortable in that, then that's when I go see my counselor and be like, okay, I think this is different from me being introverted. So I think I may be a tad bit depressed today.
Yep.
But
Yep.
like you said, it's
And that's
knowing
good
that
to be able
balance.
to acknowledge it and
Mm-hmm.
recognize that as well. Because I'm an introvert, which a lot of people, especially when they see me, or hear me,
Mm-hmm.
or they be like, "You lying?" I'm like, "No, I
No.
promise you. In real life, I am. Like
Yeah.
seriously." But like you said, to be able to notice those signs where, okay, I'm at home too much. Like I'm not wanting to be around people at all,
Yeah.
and to even be able to recognize it and be you know, bold and unashamed enough to, hey, make that phone call, schedule that appointment, whether you do it through your regular therapy, or EAP, because a lot of jobs have it to where they have EAP, which is employee assistance program, and
Mm-hmm.
you may not have insurance through your job, but if they have EAP, a lot of times they offer counseling sessions, 3, 5, or even 7 that are for
Yeah.
free that you don't even have to use insurance. So I'm giving a plug if you
Yes.
need some therapy, but you don't think you got the money, check your
Mm-hmm.
job and see if they got EAP and get
Yeah.
you a session in.
Because that's what I use.
Yep.
Yeah. Because some counselors are very helpful, and they only will see you through EAP, because it's not a long term thing. But like you
Hmm.
said, it's free, and I think in our community it's not yet open for people to go see counselors. But it's just like there's nothing wrong with talking to somebody and just getting it out. It's not all about trying to prescribe you pills and drug you to death. It's just having that stranger say, and most of the time, like they're already telling you stuff that you already know. You
Yeah.
just need confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my counselor, I just be like, oh, and she's like, yeah, you almost got it. Keep thinking. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So what continues or what drives you to continue to do life coaching and inspiring people? Because I hear your passion for it and I love it. So what just do you have those days where you just be like, not today, or not this week, or like what's the balance?
um so crazy
Mm-hmm.
crazy story, transparent story. And I'm going to share because I thought I was going to get in trouble. So that's why I'm
Okay.
going to share this story. So I lost my sister actually this past summer,
I'm sorry to hear that.
and
Mm-hmm.
I ended up I was doing some things, and I thought my therapist was going to get in she was going to fuss at me for like helping, and I don't know if I think I was at an event or I was doing something,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if I was speaking or whatever, but I thought I was gonna get in trouble because I thought she was like, "You supposed to be on pause, like you supposed to be in recovery and in grief mode." But the
Right.
one thing she said to me, she was like, "You're different from most other people." She was
Mm.
like, "You get your strength and you get your almost you get built back up by helping
Mm-hmm.
others." She was like, "So any other person, I probably would have said, no, you shouldn't be doing this, or no, you need to not do that." She was like, "But you're different." She was like, "That's actually how you get better. That's how you get stronger. That's how you heal, by helping other people get healed, get whole, by helping them through their stuff, by encouraging, motivating, and inspiring them." And so I was like, whoo, because I thought you was going to come in here and fuss at me. Like, I promise,
Right.
I was nervous. I was like, oh, thank you, because I thought I was going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But when she said it, I was like, I'm glad you understand. I said, because that's how I feel. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I will, I'll take a pause. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know when I'm like not all the way in my right mind. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I
Yeah.
did take like 3 weeks off, and I communicated to because my Talk with Tanya is aired on a radio station as well in
Yes.
Killeen, Texas. And so I wanted to communicate to them and not just drop off the planet and say,
Right.
hey, I won't be able to provide X, Y, and Z. I'll update you. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure when. I said, but just give me some time. And he was like, Tanya, like, come on, like, you good. I was like, okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Right.
And I think I may have did like a small like announcement
Mm-hmm.
on my blog, but I didn't do a lot because you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't
Yeah.
want it to be made big. But,
Right.
so I know there's times when you need to take the time, but then I also know for me, that's where I get a lot of my healing. Prime example, like I said, when I was going through one of the worst times in my life, I wrote a whole book. So,
Yeah.
so for me, even if I have to take the time off, like on a job, and take a leave of absence, you still may be seeing me doing some type of, if you will, kingdom work or coaching or
Yeah.
speaking or helping somebody, because I may not be able to function in a regular 9 to 5 doing that type of work, but this right here is helping me live. This right here is helping me breathe. And so this is a part of my healing journey. So, yeah.
Wonderful. I love it. Yeah, it's not speaking over you, but just saying sometimes I believe in anything, we have to figure out how to find that balance. Like you said, it does heal you, but at the same time, you still have to take that moment to be, I guess, like have that moment. Like I call it a crown moment when you just sit and you think and you're just reflecting over everything. And it's like, this may have happened, but for that, I'm more valuable, I'm more worthy than, yesterday or, before this happened. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's very, I'm trying to learn how to balance social media and podcasting because I'm not too big on social media. Like I said, it's like a sea of like everything out there. It's like you have to swim through like to get like the positive things, and it's just like I got a headache today. I can't. Unless like Beyonce like pop up, I'd be like, "Hey girl," and then after that, I'm like, "Okay, I'm done." So yeah. Speaking of crown moment, would you like to share a crown moment with us? And that's just something that happened in your life. It could be positive, or it could be something that was negative that turned into a positive, where you were just like, "I'm worthy for this moment," as I call it.
You said I'm worthy for this moment?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And not to be on a somber note, but it really was encouraging for me as well. So not a couple of weeks ago, unfortunately, I lost my grandmother. And I literally just that weekend prior, I was kind of going through the grieving process of losing my sister because it was her birthday and it was my birthday. And so, crazy thing about it was, even though I was kind of grieving my sister, I was kind of grieving my grandmother because we knew that she didn't have much longer. And so, ended up she passed that Tuesday later, and I had a speaking engagement that same day.
Oh wow.
And I had to decide what was I going to do. Like, these people are expecting me.
Right.
Like, I'm on, like, they've been promoting it. Like, yeah. And so I had to make a decision of if I was still going to show up for my purpose and show up, and wear my crown, if you will. And so I did. And like I wasn't nervous about it, but I was just like, okay, there must be a reason that you giving me this like unimaginable strength to still do this, especially on today.
Right.
And when I walked in the room, I literally was like, God, you're funny, and Granny, you're funny too. Like, I had to laugh because the event was with an older demographic. And I said to them, and I told them, I was like, you guys have no idea how purposeful me being here tonight is. And they were like, what do you mean? And I was like, because I feel like each and every one of you are giving me love and hugs from heaven above, and you don't even know it.
Wow.
And I ended up explaining to them what had happened that very day. And I went forward, with my prepared speech and topic that I was discussing with them, and did Q&A and everything. And one of the things that every person came up and said was, you don't even understand that what you said today was exactly what we needed. And it wasn't just what we needed for our individual selves, but it was what we needed for the vision, that we needed somebody to explain it and break it down and echo it for what we wanted to see our organization be able to do, not just this year, but down the line. So you played a very pivotal part, because we needed to hear this message right here, right now, for where we're trying to go. And that, I would say, was a crown moment. That was what I would say was a purposeful moment for me, because I could have easily just, like you said earlier, stayed at home, went into my shell and put my crown down.
Yeah.
But I knew that people were dependent upon me, and I knew that there was an assignment that had to be fulfilled. And I just prayed strength, and the strength came forward. And I had victory because I had my crown on.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, and like that's what the crown moment is. And like you said, after that, it's like I'm sure you thought to yourself, like, if I can do this with this situation going on, I can do anything. Because it's like you were able to number one, like just be, because while you're talking, like I could just imagine like you just going in a room and just like you said, the hugs are like spiritually there, where it's just like this, I'm here, my crown is on.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. And I like that you said when you were speaking about that these were like older people. So
Hmm.
and I know that sometimes older people feel like once they like reach a certain age, they can't be motivated to like do anything else that or like they don't have like a passion anymore. And that's
Hmm.
not true, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
one thing I echoed, and I actually ended up doing a message tea, because I have what I call message rush. I did a message tea because it just kept coming out of my mouth over and over again the whole night, was purpose never grows old. And
Mm,
so literally after I left, I was like, yeah, I got to do a message tea for that. And so I did, because I was like, whether, and it's because it wasn't just for them to know that, but it's for anybody to know that your
I like
purpose
that.
never grows old.
Yeah, very, very true. Um, Yes, thank you so much. I always get inspired by my guests on here personally. So I know that my crown was out there being inspired. So again, I just thank you for coming on here. I appreciate it from my crown to yours. Uh,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Now, was there anything else you wanted to share with us?
Um, I mean, are you going to ask me about any of my social media stuff or anything like that? I can tell
Yes,
you guys about that.
I wanted you to
Okay.
go ahead and give those out because I mess mine up all the time. I'm trying to get better. I'm like, what is
Okay.
it again? So yes, if you can give us your social media information.
Okay. And just so you guys know, so Ms. Riri asked me about my books and that I've published. So I have 3 projects out.
Mm-hmm.
And I call them projects because every project, it's a book and it's some type of work. And when I say work, I mean it's a guide, it's a journal, it's a prayer guide, it's a workbook, something basically. I feel like when I write the books, that's me speaking.
Yes.
When I do give a journal or a guide or a workbook, that is me coaching you. So I want
Mm.
to make sure that I'm giving you both what I'm talking to you, but then I'm helping you too, and help you how to actually do it as well. And so the first project was Mind Matters. I have a second project called Things My Mama Said. Quickly, it's about love and life, the love of our mom, trying to teach us how to do life right and well. So that's a book and a prayer journal. And then I have a mini book called the Pro Series. It's just reminding you of the provision and the purpose that's in you, and knowing that it's there. And all you have to be and do is to be reminded that there is a pro in you because it's been there the whole time. And
Mm.
then a fourth project that will be coming out sometime between Q1 and Q2, long awaited, long awaited. It's called Motivated Effort. And it's just reminding you that the motivation starts with you, and
Mm.
it's an inside job. And so that's going to be a book and a guide.
I like
But
that. Mm-hmm.
um, everything, all my links can be found directly at my site, Tanya, that's Tanya J Miller.com. But I'll still give you the links as well. So I have a store. It's at shop.TanyaJMiller.com. You can get my books, the journals. You can get message merch. Like I said, I have message apparel, message buttons, message
Yes.
stickers. Basically, those 4 pillars I talked about, helping you to figure out how to do life right and well, helping you to figure out how to fit the puzzle piece together. All of that, I'm doing it by reinforcing a message that you can see, feel, and touch. Because sometimes people might not like books, but
Mm-hmm.
they may get the message if they wear a message tee or a message button. Or they may not like books, they may not like message apparel, but hey, they like online classes. So at school.TanyaJMiller.com, that's kind of where I say I do my group coaching, or my, if self-paced, you can kind of go at your own pace coaching. And so I have online courses on there. Some are even free 99. Yes, free
Oh,
99.
that's
So
really
check
good.
those out. And then also, but know this though, my books are available in digital, print, and audio, and they're on
Mm.
Amazon. So I will not feel any type of way if you don't go to my store and buy them. You can go to
Yes.
Amazon, and you can also go to Barnes and Noble as well. Then on social media, I am under Talking with Tanya, and I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. for sure every day, Monday through Friday, you will find some type of motivation, inspiration, encouragement to help you do life right and well. And in between there, I'll tell you about what I got going on and what I'm, offering as new message merch or new class, or if I'll be speaking somewhere. And then last thing, I like to tell people I'm not a rapper before I say this, but I have a mixtape.
Okay.
It's called Talk with Tanya Mixtape Volume 1. It's on all digital outlets. Feel free to download it. But if you don't download it, at least stream it. That still helps a sister out. But basically, it's me motivating and inspiring you over pretty dope beat. So check
I
it
like
out. It's
it.
your morning routine. If you're working out, something to get you going. And expect more. There'll probably be another volume 2 release this year. And then I may also be releasing the Talk with Tanya devotionals as well, a 30-day devotion, possibly this year and next. So lots going on for sure. As
Yes.
always booking for speaking gigs and podcast interviews or panels or MC. And so check me out. Like I said, everything still points to TanyJMLLC.com. And I have enjoyed being with the crowned ones today. Absolutely. I
Thank
have.
you. And thank you so much for sitting on your throne and wearing your crown and conversating with me. I appreciate it.
You.
Thank you. So thank you so much to all of my crowners. And Miss Tanya, if you could stay on the line for a moment. Thank you so much for all my crowners out there. I definitely do appreciate it. Don't forget your crown. And don't forget your crown. It's already been bought and paid for. That's what Mr. James Baldwin has tatted on my heart. So thank you again to all my crowners out there. You have a wonderful week. This is the CrownTalk Podcast with Crowned Riri. Hi out there to my Crown Ones. This is Rebecca, aka Crowned Riri. Thank you so much for pressing play. If you are enjoying CrownTalk Podcast, please leave a comment and let me know. And also share with other Crown Ones. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, please. There is no machine behind me, so any support is welcome. Thank you again for pressing play, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Crown Talk. Don't forget your crown, and don't forget your crown.